These three items here that clearly belong to the same lathe that was nowhere to be seen. I got a nice faceplate. That's about a 7.5-inch faceplate. Dog drive plate. It's about 5-inch. And spotted this and quickly realized that this is a, what do you call this thing? But when you're using a collet closer, for instance, on your lathe, and you want to protect the threads on the spindle, you have one of these. So this would screw on over that. Well, figured what the hell, no sense in leaving that behind. Now the only thing I haven't done yet is find out, and these obviously are of absolutely no use to me. I don't have a lathe small enough to use these. Ironically, the 9-inch Craftsman that I have sold might very well have had this size on it. So I could have used it on that. Not that I was really using that lathe, which is why I sold it. Anyways, let's see if I can't figure out what the TPI is on this. Well, I just verified, and yep, it's 8 TPI, and it sure looks like 1.5" by 8 TPI. And a quick look on eBay shows me that the 1.5-8 TPI is a very common spindle, apparently. A lot of these listings actually mention Atlas, Logan, South Bend. So I don't think I'm going to have any trouble finding a home for these. You know, I look at the current sales and I see some things like right now somebody's got basically this faceplate up and they want like over $100 for it. Crazy. I like to look at the sold listings because it gives you a better idea of what people are really willing to pay for something like that. So not too bad, not too bad. I'm looking at all right, here's a 7 3/8 inch faceplate that looks just like this one, and I would say that's, yep, right on the money. The 7 3/8 inch, and that sold back on April 21st for $44, and they paid $8.95 shipping on top of that. Not bad at all. Now, funny, here's the same style faceplate, 1.5", 8 TPI, but it's an 8.5 inch, and it's sold for $129.40. Now, I just don't get, boy, that made that much of a difference between 7 3/8 and 8.5. You know, but sometimes it's also just not listed well. Sometimes, you know, maybe that one for 44 was cheap. I don't know. Yeah, because here's a 7 1/4 inch threaded hub, used, good condition, $75. All right, so we're gonna have some fun with this to see what this brings. Then the dog drive plate. Lots of times this is mistakenly listed as a face plate. That's really a dog drive plate. That's worth a lot less. That's yeah, I guess a lot of people don't want to turn between centers anymore, huh? $24.50, $29. That's still not bad. Not bad at all, considering what I paid for this stuff. The hard one to find is probably going to be the spindle protector here. Hey guys, look at that. That look familiar? Sure does. Look the same to me. South Bend, 9 10K lathe spindle nose protector, 1.5 by 8. Atlas also. $40 in free shipping. Let's see what they really sell for, though. Let's see what they've been selling for. That looks like a shop-made one. Yeah, he's calling it new. I think he's probably making these himself because it's currently still listed. So he's probably got several of these. $29 or best offer. $20 for that one. Oh, there. Okay, there we go. There's the style that I have right there. So this guy must have multiples of these too. Hey, it's the same seller. 28 bucks. 28 bucks. Oh yeah. I think I'll list that tonight. So this is the tailstock that I paid pretty much next to nothing for, and I figured it was just going to end up getting scrapped if I didn't take it off the guy's hands. So, you know, if somebody's missing a tailstock for their old lathe, I might be able to set them up. I don't know. No idea what this came off of. I didn't find any really markings on it. It's got the spot here for, I don't know if there was a dauber in there for the old white lead that they used to use, or if that's actually a hole for a rod for a tool tray or something. But the way I figured it was, even if I end up just stealing this handle off of it, and maybe this handle, and throwing the rest away, it was worth the probably $5 that I got into it. Well guys, this is the fan that I couldn't resist for 30 bucks. It's good sized. It's got some issues, but nothing I wasn't able to look past for 30 bucks. It's got this really neat shape of this cast metal base. Makes me think it's an earlier one. It's got this weird sock on it, which I think is designed to keep you from accidentally sticking fingers in there, getting them chopped off. And you know, at first I was thinking, oh, I wonder if somebody repurposed something to use to do this. But now I actually think that this may have actually been actually made for this purpose, because I've seen another fan with one on it identical to it. So this has got a pretty sure that's an aluminum blade, and the sock is kind of obscuring it, but there's clearly a manufacturer on here. So this has got an orange emblem with a black surround that clearly says Air Master. On the black surround it says Air Circulators, Air Master Corporation. I can't quite see what it says over here. And then there's another little tag on the actual front of the fan blade, and it says Air Master Propeller, which is kind of neat. This outer cage is all rusted, and I kind of doubt that it was ever chromed. I think this was always just metal. So I'll probably just end up giving this a light sanding and hit it with some black paint maybe. Get a load of the motor on this thing. It's got a start or a run capacitor, I'm not sure which, that actually is outboard of the motor completely. Usually this is enclosed inside of a cap in the back there, but this one's just out here. The wires come right out to it. This is what's left of what looks like an original cord that somebody has hacked and put just a very thin, flimsy lamp cord on, so this is really kind of dicey. It's got a very interesting switch on it. It's not a pull switch. It's almost like it's almost got like a chain, and when you flip the switch down, when you push on it, it clicks, the chain pulls and actuates almost like a pull switch, like on an old lamp. And then the motor, let's see if I can see the name on the motor. Of course, it just says AC motor on the top of the emblem. The manufacturer's going to be on the bottom. It's a, hey, that's interesting. I think this is a Doer motor, D-O-E-R-R. Hey, isn't that the manufacturer of the motor from my Wells Index mill? I think it might be. There's a number stamped in right over here, which makes me think that this is either a model number or a serial number. It looks like it might be 40.23K. 40.23K. I think that's either a model number or a serial number. So the biggest disappointment about this fan, which I didn't realize when I bought it, but then when I went to load it in the truck, I actually it's a telescopic fan, so you can loosen this bolt and you can actually raise this up even higher. And when I raised it up, this is what I discovered. Well, it's really kind of hard to raise, but because it's been outside in the elements, I've had this all wrapped in plastic. But when I slid this out, this inner rod right here appears to originally have been chrome plated, and it's got some pretty bad dents and dings in it. So it kind of looks like a train wreck when it's extended. It looks nice when it's down like this, so I might just end up finishing it and not worrying about what the heck that looks like, because there's not much I can do about fixing that. So let me just show you this thing run. All right, I haven't run this fan since I brought it home a few weeks ago, and I noticed it's a real slow starter. But that seems like quite a bit of mass there, that big aluminum fan blade. But it sure can push some air. A little bit of interesting noise in that motor when it's running. Either that or in that hub of that fan. I don't know. And that's something I'll investigate down the road when I decide to take it apart, clean it up, and paint it. Well, that's it on this for now. Yeah, alright, so this is going to conclude the QVEA spring show purchases. Hope you enjoyed it.